Lucy never planned to become a target, but on this day, standing outside a huge hotel with Richard, her life is about to snap in half, and she doesn't know it yet. Richard suddenly panics and begs her to deliver a locked briefcase to a man named Mr. Jang.
I've done this 12 times. It's paperwork.
Before she can even argue, he snaps a handcuff around her wrist and chains her to the case. Lucy freezes.
Stop it! Take this off me right now.
She's trapped, and the only way forward is inside the hotel. But the moment she steps in, everything goes wrong. 4 men in black storm toward her. Without a word, they drag her through the lobby and into a blood-stained conference room. Danger permeates the air. This is where Lucy encounters Mr. Jang, the man everyone is afraid of. He doesn't shout or smile, he simply stares at her for a long moment. After a brief interrogation, he silently slides a card across the table. 140. That is the code.
What's really in here?
When the case opens, Lucy sees 4 clear bags filled with glowing blue powder. She doesn't know what it is. She doesn't know why they chose her. But one thing is clear. She isn't walking out of here as the same person who walked in. While Lucy lies unconscious, the men slip one of the bags into her lower stomach. In that moment, they turn her into a human drug carrier, without asking and without mercy. Hours later, Lucy wakes up locked inside a prison cell. Her hands shake, her thoughts race. She doesn't even know where she is. Then, suddenly, one of the gangsters rushes toward her, trying to force himself on her. As Lucy struggles to fight him off, he kicks her several times in the stomach. The impact bursts the bag inside her, releasing the blue powder into her bloodstream. It surges through her veins, sharpening her senses, and unlocking impossible abilities. In that moment, Lucy begins to transform, and no one can stop it. Lucy is now a completely different person. Every language she sees or hears makes sense. Chinese, Korean, English. She understands them all. From across the street, she can hear conversations as clearly as if she were standing right beside them. Once strange in her hands, guns now feel like a natural part of her body. Lucy rushes to the one place anyone in her situation would go, the hospital. There, surgeons carefully examine her body and discover that only 500 grams of CPH4 remain. The rest has already mixed into her bloodstream. One surgeon explains that CPH4 is a chemical made in very small amounts by pregnant women to help a baby's bones grow, but Lucy now carries a large amount of it, enough to give her powers far beyond any normal human. But one question races through Lucy's mind. How did the gangsters get so much of this chemical? How did they even create it? With each passing second, her life has turned into a ticking clock. Also, she can't ignore Mr. Jang, the man who initiated it all. She isn't going to talk to him. She's going to make him face the monster he helped create. And this is far from a friendly visit. In a brutal shift of power, Lucy strikes first. Still seated, she stabs Mr. Jang through the hands, pinning him in place. Blood spreads across the table as shock takes over his face. Lucy didn't kill him. Instead, she uses her new abilities to reach into his mind. She pulls out vital information, the locations of other victims sent into the same deadly trap. But Lucy's journey is far from over. Power alone won't give her the answers she needs. She has to find someone who has spent more than 20 years studying the human brain and its hidden potential. His name is Professor Samuel Norman. If anyone can understand what Lucy is becoming, it's him. Lucy contacts Professor Norman by phone. The moment he hears her voice, something shifts inside him. What she tells him shouldn't be possible, yet it confirms everything he has spent his life studying. Professor Norman, a man who has spent decades researching about the brain's hidden power, it makes perfect sense. Lucy's condition matches his boldest ideas. When the brain passes 20% use, dormant abilities begin to wake up. At 28%, Lucy isn't just using her own mind. She's reaching into others. Signals bend to her will, phones, radios, even televisions respond to her thoughts. With all this, what am I supposed to do? Lucy asks Professor Norman, her voice trembling with fear and wonder. He pauses, then answers in a calm but powerful way. The purpose of life is to pass on what you've learned. But time is no longer on Lucy's side. It's running out fast. She has only 12 hours left before she can meet Professor Norman. But before that, one urgent mission still stands. rescuing the other victims sent on the same deadly missions to Berlin, Paris, and Rome. Every life depends on her, and the CPH-4 must be removed before it's too late. She contacts Captain Pierre Del Rio and gives him exact details about the traffickers. With her guidance, police intercept the suspects at the airports. Lucy observes from a distance. On her way to see Professor Norman, she boards a plane, but something goes terribly wrong mid-flight. Her brain is now working at 40%, and after she takes a small sip of wine, her body reacts in a sudden and terrifying way. Her skin begins to dry and crack. Lucy locks herself in the airplane bathroom. This frightening change proves Professor Norman's theory is right. When a cell can no longer survive in its environment, it tries to change in order to live forever. Lucy's body can no longer contain her rapidly transforming cells. Still inside the plane, she uses the last bit of CPH-4 she has left. Then, in a sudden flash, Lucy vanishes. Moments later, she reappears, lying in a hospital bed. She looks calm, but the immense power inside her is still there. Captain Pierre Del Rio and his men stand nearby, called in right after the strange event. Del Rio secures the other victims and keeps them under guard, even though the drug packages are still inside their bodies. For now, the area seems safe, but danger is still close, hiding in the shadows. Mr. Jang has a long way to go, motivated by rage and greed, as his men approach the hospital and Lucy rushes there with Del Rio. Before long, Mr. Jang's men storm the hospital, causing problems as they advance. Nothing can stop Lucy at this point, and arrives at the exact right moment. This isn't just another fight, it's a battle of strength and survival. Inside an open area of the hospital, the men carrying the briefcase suddenly froze. Standing in front of them is one mysterious woman, Lucy. There is no escape. Lucy didn't say a word. She stepped forward and calmly takes the briefcase. The fight is already over. She leaves with Captain Pierre Del Rio, calm and focused, making her way to the university. Mr. Jang's face contorts with anger upon learning of his men's defeat. His tone becomes icy and piercing. He declares, "I'll kill this witch myself." He gathered the few remaining men and makes his way directly to the university. Lucy, in the meantime, quietly sits among the professors and answers questions that have baffled scientists for many years. She speaks calmly and confidently in spite of the tension in the room. No title could compare to the weight of her words. Even the sharpest minds are stunned by the depth of her intelligence. It's not just the ideas that make the meeting truly amazing, but the fact that everything is happening in front of them. Lucy illustrates the impossible with her own body. Her hands make complex, web-like patterns that show how cells work together and are connected. In response to her thoughts, even a simple pen rises and moves in her hand. Questions that have baffled science for generations now have answers. Next is the final question. Lucy's response is simple yet powerful. Time is unity. Lucy is also aware that her own time is running out, and as Professor Norman once said, it is now her responsibility to share what she has gotten before it is too late. Like any wonderful gift, Lucy's has a price. She understands that in order to protect the knowledge she has gained, she must give up her human body. Her strategy is bold and terrifying. She will create a new kind of computer and apply all of her knowledge to it in order to leave a gift for both humanity and scientists like Professor Norman. But to begin this final stage, she asks the doctors to give her a large dose of synthetic CPH-4, the same drug that started everything. As it enters her body, reality inside the room begins to distort. Bright flashes of light burst from her mouth, not fire, but pure energy escaping a body that can no longer contain it. As her brain capacity reaches 70%, Lucy's appearance begins to change. She no longer looks fully human. From within her body, a strange black thread-like substance emerges. It is neither flesh nor metal, but something in between. The doctors watch in disbelief. Elsewhere in the building, Mr. Jang and his men continued fighting, unaware that the most powerful force in the room is no longer human. The black threads extended over Lucy's arms and legs as her brain capacity continued to grow. Then an even stranger thing occurs. The area itself begins to change. Everything turns white, a calm emptiness rather than darkness. The doctors stare in shock, unable to explain what they are seeing. Within moments, her brain capacity reaches 90%, and danger is still closing in. Suddenly, one of Mr. Jang's men throws a small explosive toward her. Even though the explosion shakes the room and sends people flying, Lucy remained unharmed. Her mind travels back in time to the very beginning of existence. Lucy watches as evolution takes place in front of her. Modern machines replace older ones. Before she finally sees the first tiny sparks of life, animals move through prehistoric times. Survival is no longer the goal here. Lucy has transcended time itself, witnessing the beginning of existence. As her brain capacity reaches 99%, the black thread-like structure almost completely covers her. Mr. Jang rushes into the room, gun in hand, desperate for one last chance, but it's already too late. At the exact moment Lucy reaches 100%, she didn't just disappear, she transcends her physical form entirely. For Lucy, the mission is complete, but for Mr. Jang, it is total disbelief and crushing defeat. The power he once controlled is gone forever. Before he could react, Captain Pierre Del Rio storms in and brings the situation under control. Mr. Jang is shot and collapses. The danger finally comes to an end, but the story doesn't end there. If it did, Lucy's true purpose would remain unfinished. From the black, thread-like structure she leaves behind, a smooth, arm-like shape slowly forms. It reaches toward Professor Norman, almost like a silent greeting. Resting gently inside it is a flash drive containing everything Lucy has learned, more knowledge than any human ever could. The truth is clear. Lucy is no longer the girl who once struggled to understand her life. She's no longer the girl handcuffed by Richard, or the one terrified of Mr. Jang. She has evolved into something greater, a gift of wisdom meant to guide humanity for generations to come. Lucy is no longer limited to a body for those who still sense her absence, such as Captain Pierre Del Rio. She is in the air in the interim, and despite the fact that her journey is over, the world is still affected by her presence, intelligence, and extraordinary gift. So what do you think? Did Lucy truly become a legend? Or was she simply in the wrong place at the wrong time? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more incredible movie recaps.